Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yashar Allah. Kol Haloyim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Harakah Kudash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith and the work shall keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, we shall hear of wars, actual wars, and rumors of wars, which is, self-explanatory. But the end is not yet, because all of the prophecies have to be happening at the same time. Just because you hear of a war, that don't mean that in the next few weeks it's over with, because, Revelation 13 has to be in the mix. Right? Daniel chapter 12 has to be in the mix. Revelation 13 being the mark of the beast. Daniel chapter 12 speaking on, and Jeremiah 30, 2nd Ezra 15 speaking about Jacob's trouble. All of these things have to be happening at the same time. The famine of the word, right? But I will say this: all of those things are in the midst of what's going on now, right? Even as far as legislation goes pertaining to these things, right? Digital funds, digital money, the world moving away from, the old way of life and moving towards a digital world order. That's happening as we speak, right along with wars and rumors of wars, right along with, the people's emotions, getting them into a state of uprising, right? To the point to where I saw a video of, it was protesters that was protesting on behalf of Palestine in New York. And I think it was the Israeli, I can't think of his position, but his representative of Israeli in America that lives in New York, protesting in front of his house. And he was saying how, something need to be done about that. Right. So people's emotions and actual, things that's going on in this earth, like it says in 2nd Ezra 15, because of great tribulation and lack of bread, right? Hyperinflation and, the funds being, thrown in array because they moving into a digital world order, right? So all of these things are happening at the same time, right? But it's just not all the way there, right? Yahweh Shai coming back in the midst of battle, right? World War III definitely declared in full-fledged boots on ground war. Revelation 13 speaks about that digital currency, right, which is the micro C hip being, and let me not say digital currency, which is the micro C hip, the MOTB, which is the micro C hip, right, will be full-fledged implemented by law in this world, because it says you won't be able to buy or sell unless you have this thing, right? Daniel chapter 12, Jeremiah 30, where it speaks about Jacob's trouble, meaning utter chaos in these streets, lawlessness, people not caring about the higher ups telling them what to do and what not to do, right? Everything has to be full-fledged in effect before Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai makes his return. But still watch and pray, still be circumspect, still walk as wise, not as fools, right? Because we understand that the times that we're living in is dangerous, right, or evil, right? But at the end of the day, it all boils down to we are witnessing the fall of the daughter of Babylon, right? So let this video play, and I'll be back.
Egypt just dropped a bombshell. Is this a huge middle finger to the United States and Israel? I'll get to that in a minute. Of course, just north of this location is the Israeli border, and now all-out war against Hamas, all-out war against the Gaza Strip. And if you didn't think a world war was possible before with the NATO war in Ukraine, well, get ready. A few hours ago, the Israeli Defense Ministry just announced an invasion and destruction of Gaza. And I'm quoting him now: "There will be no electricity, no food, no fuel. We are fighting human animals, and we will act accordingly." Many people on social media saying, well, that would be a war crime. Of course, the term war crime is being used a lot in the past few days. We do.
So, like, one thing that's also being revealed is who really has a grip on this world, because you cannot speak negative against these people without some form of backlash, right? And they the only people on the planet that got that power. These people that control funds, entertainment, right? These people that control media, and you know who I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about them people who be wearing them small hats on the top of their head, right? That live in that place that just got quote unquote attacked, because now even that's in question, because we understand how the devil moves. We've been studying this devil, man. This devil operates out of order, RKO, order out of chaos. So he'll create chaos in order to bring a certain order, right? Same game, just another day.
Have reports now showing Hamas using U.S. weapons meant for Ukraine. Imagine how that happens. We send billions of dollars in money and weapons to Ukraine, only for Ukraine to sell them on the black market to Hamas.
Right. So how these folk supposedly got their hands on weaponry that was slated for the Russia and Ukraine thing. Of course, the daughter of Babylon is not supporting Russia. So you know who I'm talking about, right? And where them funds coming from to give them weapons to them people, right? Why and why is the price of everything in the daughter of Babylon going through the roof? All of this is not coincidence. This is design. But see, the difference between the day and days of old, the Most High is constantly revealing this devil for what he really is, because it's time, right? Knowledge shall be increased in the end times. Let me go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and I bring this out. All the Spirit brings this out all the time. Come down and sit in the dust, Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. This place ain't tender and delicate like it portrayed itself in times past. It's being found to be the wicked, demonizing, devil worshiping, satanic culture that it really is, right? This place that promises peace and love for everybody, right? And a lot of times they do it based off of different peace treaties and acts, but never fall through with their side of the peace treaty. That's how they even got this place, right? This place belonged to our brothers, the Gadites, right? The northern kingdom ran this place. Then, you know, Esau, Edom came with the treachery, right? With the deceit, with the raping and robbing and murdering, and took it, right? It says in Isaiah 47:3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. We are witnessing the return of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, but it's in stages until ultimately it's revealed that's who it is. And we are his people, like it says in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5.
Also continuing to push to stop funding the war in Ukraine and push those countries to peace. And now with what's happening in Israel, we're looking at a whole different situation. I want to track the serial numbers of the weapons that Hamas is using against Israel. And I want to know if they came from Afghanistan or if they came from weapons that we provided to Ukraine.
So we're following that part of the story. We'll have a larger report on that later this week. Meanwhile, how many innocent people are about to be destroyed, caught in between this mess? The answer is a lot. The next few hours will be pivotal for people living in Gaza. The country of Lebanon just fired a dozen rockets at Israeli targets, warning Israel, stay out of Gaza. If Israel invades Gaza, that will bring a response from Hezbollah. All bets are off. world war. Nearby the violence, of course, is their neighbor to the south, Egypt, where I am right now. Egypt, of course, shares a border with both Gaza and Israel. They're in that incredibly unique position. And over the past few hours, Egypt sent a stunning message to President Biden and Benjamin Netanyahu saying, no, we will not get involved. The president of Egypt, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, has turned down a request by the United States to send forces into Gaza to help attack any targets in Gaza. Biden just announced emergency weapons to Israel, and of course is looking for anyone else that's willing to jump in and help attack Gaza. You know, who else wants to jump in? Is there a coalition of the willing?
Every nation in this coalition has chosen to bear the duty and share the honor of serving in our common defense.
Instead, Egypt is staying neutral, will not send forces into Gaza. Remember, of course, Egypt fought a bloody war against Israel, and more recently, they've dealt with attacks from Hamas here in northern Egypt. So Egypt says it will remain neutral. Unless we are attacked, we will not enter this conflict. This is a big moment. And in recent years, of course, Egypt has been the mediator of these conflicts, the sort of the go-between between Israel and Hamas. And Egypt is calling on both sides right now to end this violence immediately. That's the message just about an hour ago from the Egyptian government. This is a bold move by Egypt. You're giving basically the middle finger to the United States, which is a country that has kept Egypt under its thumb for many years. We do know that Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, just spoke with his counterparts here in Egypt. I can only imagine what it must be like to be a fly on that wall, listening for the United States asking Egypt, you know, look, you're the neighbor right there to the south, right near the Gaza Strip. Sure you don't want to send any troops? Sure you don't want to send anything? Egypt saying, no, we're not going to do that. I mean, the U.S. currently has export controls against Egypt, not sanctions, but export controls. And that limits, of course, who can do business with Egypt. And because of U.S. sanctions in Africa, it severely hurts Egyptian trade and its economy. Egyptian economy is, of course, not very strong. Of course, the Egyptian pound has taken an absolute beating. It is, of course, the leading currency here in Egypt, but really, the U.S. dollar is second to the Egyptian pound. And in some towns in Egypt, the U.S. dollar is the primary means of doing business. Talk to Egyptian businesses, and they'll all tell you U.S. dollars, yeah, we accept U.S. dollars for goods and services. A source at a top Egyptian bank told me today that almost all of the large transactions are carried out in U.S. dollars. And the Egyptian pound is losing value. It has been for the past few years. So Egypt is under the thumb of the United States monetarily. And for Egypt to say, hey, sorry, we're not doing your bidding is a bold move.
Now, where they getting this boldness from? Because they got options. Now, the surrounding nations have options. They don't have to deal with the dollar like that if they really don't want to, because there's something called BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Right? A coalition of countries basically built up to combat the control of the daughter Babylon's money over the world. Right? This is a new day that we seeing. We in a whole new. Right? And the daughter Babylon losing its grip. It's really on purpose, though. Don't get it twisted. I ain't saying that like they ain't got nothing to do with what's going on. Of course they do. Right? Like it says in Revelation 17. Right, let me read that right quick. So Revelation chapter 17 and verse 1 says, And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So that's the daughter of Babylon, basically sitting atop of these different nations that it's allied to, right? The EU, NATO, right? They still in control, right? But they losing the grip as it pertains to the image that the old image of the daughter of Babylon is fading away, and they're trying to bring in this new thing, right? And this new thing is really greater than the daughter of Babylon because it's more so moving towards the image of the beast, right? But it's the end of this place, man. The end of this captivity, the end of the heathens ruling, and that's what we're witnessing.
Also of note, Egyptian buildings in Cairo have raised the Palestinian flag, just like they've done in Iraq, Syria, Iran, Kuwait, and Libya. Palestinian flags hitting skyscrapers at nighttime. Also, I found this to be a stunning admission today, just actually a few minutes ago, from Egypt. Egypt's top intelligence officials saying that Israel totally dropped the ball here. They ignored huge warning signs that something big was coming from Hamas in Gaza, and they did nothing to stop it. In other words, Egypt says Israel knew this was coming. They warned Israel. They had multiple conversations about it. They admitted this. Israel has arguably the most sophisticated intelligence service in the world, and yet they purposefully didn't do anything to stop it. Egypt says they knew about it. So if that's true, why would they do that? Why would Israel ignore a potential attack?
Because it's by design, man. All of this is to justify something that normally would not be okay in the sight of man. So you have to create some kind of illusion to mold the minds of the people to go along with the narrative that you want to push. Ordo ab chaos. Order out of chaos. Right? We go to the book of Luke. Luke chapter 8 and let me see. Verse 17 says, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." Right? So everything this devil trying to do in the dark, the Most High is constantly bringing to the light, especially now. Why? Because it's time. I can't stress that enough, man. It's time. It's time for this place to fall. We are witnessing the demise of the daughter of Babylon, right? And we're witnessing the beginning of the kingdom of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? Which is also known as the kingdom of Israel or kingdom of Yashar Allah, right? So, yeah, I end with that, man. Yeah. Yahweh Shemel Sharatazah, these precepts in this video were edifying. Call Haloyim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Harakak Wadash Shalom Yashar.